And you know prison is different no matter where you go, whether it's state to state, coast to coast, top or bottom, left to right. No matter where you go, prison is going to be different. You could be locked up in the same state at more than one institution, but depending on how high up in that state you are or how low you are locked up in that state, depends on what it's like where you are. For this video, I'm going to be telling y'all what it's like when I was locked up in the state of Florida, up there in the Panhandle.
Haha, Dom the best. Finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga. Yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around and bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch with locks. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2 comes violent, first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone and my charger don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see your ass, you gon' leave airlifted.
What's up, y'all? You already know, man. Kfrogtv back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. I want to tell everybody welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the Panhandle. For those that don't know what that is, we call the top of the map the Panhandle down here in the state of Florida. Okay? Now, it is totally different in the Panhandle than it is down south. See, in Florida, we have 4 regions. Florida is broken into 4 different parts. You get what I'm saying? At the same time, they're all different, okay? Now, people always wonder, oh, damn, Frog, how'd you make it through prison talking the way you talk, moving the way you move, acting the way you act? And I'm going to let y'all know that when I was in the Panhandle, it wasn't like everybody was cool with the way I am. See, the way that I get judged on YouTube from people who ain't from down south where I'm from is the same way that I was judged by guards and inmates when I was locked up in the Panhandle. See, when you go up north, when you go to the tip top, when you're almost near Alabama and all that shit, them officers right there, they carry their stuff way different than the guards down south. Once you come down south where I'm from, South Florida will be your reception center. Officers got golds in their mouth, not just the male officers, the female officers also. You know what I'm saying? But once you go to the top, they're totally different. It goes from having golds in your mouth to having dip. Them black officers, white officers, Spanish officers, they have dip in their mouth. They chew tobacco. Yes, chewing tobacco. Okay, now, when I first knew I was going to the Panhandle, it sucked because, you know, it was my first time getting sent way the hell up top like that. And I wasn't expected to go there. You know, me, I thought, okay, they might keep me in my region. I ain't got nothing but a 5-year sentence. So they might keep me down here in my region and just have me, you know, somewhere close in South Florida somewhere, you know. But I know that camps are ratchet down south, you know what I'm saying? I know that a lot of shit could happen and I'll be around the type of people that I'm used to being around. You feel me? Because it's kind of like when you go up top, and you're from the hood, or you got a ghetto slang, or you come from an urban area, you know, stuff like that, you're gonna be known and you're gonna stand out because you carry yourself different than the people who are used to being spoon-fed, or the people that, you know, grew up in the woods, or, you know, with more land, or went hunting and stuff like that. Where I'm at, how I grew up, I had never been through that type of stuff. So when I went up there, I knew I was going to stand out. You know, I knew I was going to be different. I knew I was going to have hate towards me. There was going to be people that didn't accept me, didn't like me. You feel me? But down south, yeah, I'm going to fit in. And it's going to be not just me. Everybody's going to be like that. You feel me? But the ones that aren't going to fit in are going to be the ones that are from up top, from the Panhandle. You know what I'm saying? And nobody from down south wants to get sent to the Panhandle, just due to the fact that it's totally a different environment to where you see how guards truly treat inmates. Okay, like I said, me, I thought I was gonna stay down south in this region, you feel me? But it didn't work like that. Once they put me on that bus, next thing you know, I went through Orlando's reception center, then I went to Lake Butler. Once I hit Lake Butler and I got off the bus, for anybody who's been to Lake Butler that's been locked up in the state of Florida, y'all already know how Butler is. Butler don't play around, you feel me? Once I got off that bus and I seen how like racist them guards were, how I seen how they had dip in their mouth and they was sitting there talking to me like I was a different race than them, like I was, you know, not just me. They talk to their own like that. That's just how they talk, you know? Had a damn hay straw in their mouth, big old cowboy hat looking shit. You know, once I seen all this stuff, I was like, okay, bro, I'm over here where the hicks at, where the honkies are. You feel me? I'm like, you know, so let me just keep my mouth closed and get through this reception center before they try to, you know, put their hands on me, because they can do it and get away with it, you know. But once I got off that bus and they was like, hey, inmate, yeah, I'm talking to you, stupid, this and that, this and when they started talking like that, and you notice they're all like that, all officers, not just the white ones, the black ones as well. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Oh, Wigger, get over here, Wigger. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Black as hell called me that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, damn. You know, that's how they talk. You feel me? I knew it. I knew it was like I'm in a different environment right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm stranded on a fucking island and I'm from outer space to them. You know, that's literally what it was like. But once I went to Butler and I seen how they were, I was like, damn, it's only probably going to get worse once I go more up north. You know, I was like, it's probably going to be more country, more, you know, racist against, you know, me and people like me the farther I go up. You know, so then after I made it through Butler, because I was only there a couple days, you feel me? Once they moved me from Butler to the next reception center, I went to Washington Annex. Now, when I went to Washington Annex, I've said this before in videos as well, I have never seen this many white inmates on a compound throughout my whole bid ever after this or anything. When I went there were so many white inmates. You know, you would feel like, all right, me being white, well, you know, shit. You feel me? You know, they're the same color as me, you know, let's see. But it was all totally different. They weren't the same type of white inmates that I was used to being around growing up in and out of jail and shit like that. You feel me? But when I realized I was going to the Panhandle, they gave us these cheese sandwiches on the bus. It was 2 cheese sandwiches with oatmeal, with coffee cake like to the side of that motherfucker, and it was wrapped in saran wrap. Once I realized I was getting sent way up there, I was like, bitch, I'm going to a different time zone. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was only an hour difference, it still was a different time zone. You feel me? And if y'all look it up too, for anybody that, oh, there ain't no different time zone in Florida, blah, 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 blah. Man, you Google that shit before you comment. Because I had people comment about the time zone before on a video I did about different time zones in the state of Florida. And there is a different time zone once your ass go up north. You feel me? So let me throw that out there before I keep going, all right? So once I finally landed at Calhoun, that was my main camp. It looked so like, it was like a concentrate camp, kind of like how Butler's built. But once I landed at Calhoun, them shits was little brick buildings and looked like little cabins. You know what I'm saying? It just looked totally different. The vibe was like shit you see on the movies. You know when you see movies about prison? Not the penitentiary ones, but the ones where it looks like they're trying to like, you know, make it look like an outside film. I'd say like an old throwback movie like Cool Hand Luke. Like how Cool Hand Luke was, you feel me? Or Life with Eddie Murphy and them. That's the type of shit that it looked like when I got there. I was like, man, okay, this is, you know, this wasn't what I was expecting. You know, I'm expecting some shit you see like penitentiary-wise, like real lockup movies like American History X or Blood In, Blood Out, or, you know, shit like that. That's what I'm expecting, you know, to see prison to seem like. But Panhandle, it ain't like that, man. They got big old grasshoppers, big old cow-killing ants. You know what I'm saying? They got all types of shit that you ain't never seen before, you feel me? Well, at least that I ain't never seen before down here, you know? Because where I'm from, there's land, don't get me wrong, but not like that. You know, I live in a city area. Where I'm at, we have a city, you know? We have towns and shit like that. But up there, boy, they got land. You know what I'm saying? They're spaced out. You feel me? We're riding down this long-ass road. And there's probably 2 houses down this long road we went down for like 5-6 miles straight. There was only like a house when we first turned on the road, and then maybe 1 house halfway. The rest, it was nothing but trees on both sides. You feel me? Like, I'm like, boy, they put me out here in these sticks. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like made me feel like when I was in my juvenile program and I was in the Everglades. But that's down south. But it was like we were still out there in the swamp with sawgrass and shit like that. You feel me? But once I got there, you know, they're more strict than it is down south. See, everybody in the Panhandle would prefer to come down south just because of how lenient it is. Now, it may be more lenient down south, which I'll do a video, you know, speaking on down south directly as well, like doing time down south. You feel me? But right now, I'm going to be speaking on just the Panhandle. you know, because anybody from down south doesn't want to do time in the Panhandle. Now, people who are from up there, they feel like it's kind of normal. But what they used to do in prison is they'll send you far away from where you're from, you know, so that way you're not comfortable. You know, then your people's got to find a way to come get you. So if you're from the Panhandle and you get sent down south, you're going to hate prison because you're going to see how it is down here. If you're from down south and you get sent way up there to the Panhandle, you're going to hate it also because you're going to see how it is up there. You're going to feel like that's how prison is. You see? But coming from where I'm from, compared to what it's like up there, it's gonna just be mind-blowing, you know, like the two, you know. Once they swap you around, even though they changed it now to where they bring you closer, they try to bring you to in your region, just in case when it's time for you to go home, if they gotta put you on a bus, get you a bus ticket or whatever it may be, they try to keep it to where they ain't gotta pay that much for the ticket no more, you feel me? So they made it to where they moved you closer to home, you know. Now, once I landed and was at Calhoun and I finally seen a cow killing ant for the first time, I was like, damn, bro, like, y'all ever seen like in the movies where y'all got them ant piles, but it'd be like real ant piles. I'm not talking about like, see down here we have just a regular, you'll see a little bit of, it'll be dirt and you can tell if you kick it, there's ants. I'm talking about the shit you see where it's like a mountain. It just, you look over there and it looks like little volcanoes. You feel me? You look over there, it's like a little clay looking volcano, and if you touch that shit or stick a stick in it, they coming. You know, that's how it is up north. You feel me? You see them cow killing ants, you know what I'm saying? And then you see them ant piles like that. Because cow killing ants, normally when you see them, they're by themselves. You could just be chilling and you could look and you'll see the grass moving. You look over there and be a big boy. I'm talking about big shit like this. But the ant piles, those are different ones. Those are like fire ants or some shit. But they're still big as well. Now, when I first seen a cow killing ant, everybody was like, you know, they knew what it was. I didn't. Me, I'm like, boy, I caught me something exclusive. I caught his ass and I put him in my little baby powder bottle and brought him back to the dorm because, you know, people were collecting spiders and shit. So in my mind, I'm like, boy, I caught me something exclusive. It bitch look furry and everything, you know? So when I brought it back to the thing, they were like, man, that ain't nothing but an ant, bro. I'm like, man, that bitch don't look like no ant. You know what I'm saying? That shit got hair on him and everything. This shit right here, I bet you he'll whoop your spider though. You feel me? I was trying to see if they wanted to let the ant fight the spider. You feel me? And then that's when I found out what it was, you know what I'm saying? And they call them cow killer ants because when cows eat the grass, if the ant fucks around and stings them on their tongue, their whole shit will swell up and it'll suffocate the cow and the cow will fall out. You feel me? And could die. That's why they call them that, you know what I'm saying? So I learned what cow killer ants were when I was in prison in the Panhandle. Okay, I learned that it don't matter if you were white or black or Spanish. When you go to the Panhandle, them guards are going to call you the disrespectfulest words towards your race, even if they're the same color as you. Straight up. You know, it don't matter if that's a white officer and I'm a white inmate, he's still going to be sizing me and call me a wigger, call me a cracker. He's going to be calling me all that. Same thing if you're a black dude and you go there, they're going to be calling you the disrespectful words as well. Same thing if you're Chico, Spanish. That's how they do it when you go up there. And one thing they don't play about in the Panhandle is their female officers. Literally. For all these people that like to be heavy gunners and shit, people that want to, you know, pull they fucking shrimp out on people and stuff, them guards in the Panhandle, man, they will mop the floor with you over their female officers. See, down south, you know, they're more like, shit, them female officers will probably whoop you theyself, or, you know, 9 times out of 10, she probably lured you in and reeled you in to do that shit just so she could put you in confinement, or she was an eater and she was with that shit. You know what I'm saying? But up there in the Panhandle, they ain't playing about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to eating in the Panhandle, when it comes to, like, getting your food and shit, I ain't gonna lie. This is my God's honest opinion from my experience. I feel like them trays are a whole lot heavier. They're hefty, boy. And they put way more on them when you're in the Panhandle. Down south, they shake the spoon a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But up there, I feel like they feed you better. You know what I'm saying? They try to get your ass ducked off and fatten you up and shit. But they do try you a lot. And it was crazy because I remember when I got in trouble when I was up there, right? You know, I'd always get into some shit, whether it was talking during count time or whether it was trying to sneak out the dorm so I could go hit canteen because they've been bucking us on canteen, or try to sneak on the rec yard to go vibe with one of my dogs that's in a different dorm, even though my dorm ain't at rec right now. You feel me? I'd slide out there. It's called violating. So I'd violate, go over there and hang out and get in trouble. Next thing you know, they want me to cut grass, okay? I did a video on the Flintstone a long time ago. The Flintstone lawnmower is the one that you are going to be learning how to use when you were in prison down here in the state of Florida. My first time ever seeing one was when I was in the Panhandle. You feel me? Cool ass looking thing, you know what I'm saying? Like me, one of my homeboys find it crazy till to this day. You feel me? He's been to prison. He did 8 years. And me and him be chopping it up and shit like that. And we always be throwing different, like, you know, talking about different situations we went through when we was in prison. You feel me? He was locked up down here just like I was. And he always says it's crazy that I'm the type of person that got into some shit to use the Flintstone. See, me, once I heard about the Flintstone and I seen the Flintstone, in my mind, y'all, I was like, I cannot come to prison and not learn how to use one of those. I gotta get into some shit to cut the grass on purpose, to be like, man, I touched the Flintstone before. I've used the Flintstone. Yeah, you could get one probably on the streets if you can, but it ain't the same. It isn't, you know what I'm saying? So me, I purposely got into some shit before just to where they made me cut the grass with the Flintstone, just so I know I ain't gonna be talking about some shit that I didn't go through, or talk about some shit that I didn't actually have to put my hands on and use myself. You feel me? I literally got put on the Flintstone and was told to cut the grass. You feel me? And that shit sucks, dog, you know, but everyone else was all like, damn, man, anything but the Flintstone. And I'm like, give me that Flintstone. You feel me? Just so I could test it out. But then, you know, after I, you know, got it out of my system, you feel me, about me fucking with it a couple times. And then after that, you know, it was like, damn, dog, Flintstone again, bro. I already got enough experience on this motherfucker. I don't even, you know, before I was just doing it just to say I've done it, to see what it's like. Now I'm a pro at it. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to always get into some shit. But they make you cut the grass and stuff at any time. That's how it is. Like, they're so strict. When you're up there in the Panhandle, they're just so strict, bro, that it's just, and they don't give you no second chances. So it's like, if you do something and what they feel like doing, they do it. They put people in confinement left and right without even thinking about it. Literally, you could be sitting there and you're standing in line waiting for a call out, and one of your homeboys come up and they be like, Frog, what's up with you? You be like, shit, same old shit. You, come here. Come here, you want to talk on my line? And then you look around, don't look stupid. Don't look stupid, mate. Get your stupid ass over here. And now you're like, damn, bro. You walk up. And then he'll come up to you and he starts yelling at you in front of everybody. Next thing you know, turn around. Cuff up. Confinement. Like, ain't no warning, no nothing. Like, damn, all I did was respond to someone saying hi to me. You know, or even if you don't respond, you could just nod your head. And the officer peeped the whole thing. He's seen the person say what's up to you. He don't say nothing to him or nothing. He was just waiting to see you respond. And then you know not to respond because you asked them into confinement several times for talking out there. So you'll just stand there, and then when they say what's up, you just nod. You, come here, you want to talk to my... Man, I ain't even say shit. Who you talking to like that, inmate? Confinement. You see, they're just so petty, bro, that they try to, like, bait you up to put you in confinement, dog. It's so hard to stay out of the box, and it's so easy to go. For some reason, they try to make your life miserable up there, you know what I'm saying? And they do. Literally, it's like they're doing a great job at it, you feel me? Because people don't want to go to the box, you know what I'm saying? Unless you got screws loose like me, kind of like me. I don't give a damn, you feel me? So it's like, at the end of the day, I'll go to confinement, you know, and I'll definitely go to confinement about some shit that I believe I should stand up against. So if a guard says something disrespectful to me or starts trying me any kind of way, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to speak. I'm not going to just sit there and let them try me any kind of way, because the box ain't shit. You know, that's how I look at it. But you got some other people, man. No, man. No, yes, sir. Please, sir. This and that. You know, I got Vizzo coming. I ain't seen my kid in 3 years. And this, and blah, blah, and that, and this. And they're still want you to plead your case, and they're still going to take your ass to the box. You see? That's just how it is. You feel me? And I did a whole summer in the box, and I did a whole winter in the box. 2 different times. Not back to back, but one time I was locked up the whole summer. And then later on, like a year and a half later, I was locked up during the whole winter. It just happened. My time fell through those. So I've been in confinement through both of the, you know, seasons. You know, how hot it's going to be. You feel me? And you got to be in your full uniform. How cold it's going to be. Them heaters that are in the wall, they claim that are going to help you. Them shits don't work. You feel me? Them shits just to pass code. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, because there ain't no AC inside of prison, you know what I'm saying? Only in the visitation park and in classification building and stuff like that. So since there's no AC, when you ask When it's hot, boy, it's hot. And it's hot regularly, even if it isn't that hot out. Even if it's not summertime, yes, it'll still be baking in there, you know what I'm saying? And then you got to wear your whole uniform, your blues, the top, the bottom, and your bed got to be made. You're not allowed to lay under your covers. You feel me? Like, so it's little things they try to do to try to make it to where your time's harder. You know, then when you go down south, you'll see it's a totally different ball game. That's when you'll get to see the differences in how people like me grew up down South Florida than people who grew up on the tip top or even the middle. You'll see the differences. And then you'll be like, damn, it ain't just Frog that talks like this or acts like this. There's other people with his same race, my same skin color and everything. You'll see that there's fucking thousands of us. You know what I'm saying? But that's just a Florida thing, you know. But I know some other states have it to where it's like that as well. So y'all know that y'all see what it is that I'm talking about. But, you know, I get so much backlash from people who don't know. Oh, this white boy said the N-word, or this white boy here thinks he's gangster, or this white boy here taught him to talk like that. He wasn't talking like that in prison. Or if he was in prison here, we'd do this, we'd do that. Yeah, you'd die. You would die trying to try me any type of way. You feel me? Because all I know is to rock out like that. You see what I'm saying? And I was never the type looking for it. But if it came my way, you know, I'd handle it. And I'd tell you what. Throughout my whole prison bid, I tell you what, out of as many situations and problems that I've been in prison, I can tell you this. I can tell you that 98% of them, 98% of them had nothing to do with any type of the way I talk or the way I carry myself or the way I act or anything. That, I'd say 98% of that shit was about something else. You feel me? Because the way it is if one person says something to me about the way I speak and the way I talk, other people are going to look at it like, so what? That's the way he was brought up, you feel me? But a lot of people get themselves into trouble and get themselves into shit because they try to fake it to make it. You'll see some people that, you know, you could tell didn't come from that type of area or grow up that type of way. And then they'll find themselves in prison and they'll try to carry themselves and talk like they did just so that way they can blend in because they see other white boys getting away with it talking like that. Or, you know what I'm saying? So they try to fake it and make it. And then boys always get into some shit, always get beat up, get hurt, and they get their hoe card pulled. You feel me? That's how it really is. But then when you see that person, that's literally how they talk and carry themselves, well, he obviously grew up somewhere, or if he turned out the way he turned out, then it shows they must be down there somewhere. You understand? Literally, they must be like that where he's from. If that's how if he turned out like that, and it's really that's how he is. You know, I try to clean up the way I talk and everything on YouTube. You know, the more and more professional I'm trying to make the channel, I try to clear it up more and more. And I'll get people that backlash. Oh, look, just notice he don't say the N-word no more. Yeah, that's why I talk way slower now in my videos on purpose, just so I don't word things and throw things out there because I know a lot of people don't like it. But it's me though. So on the streets, I talk regular and I don't care who don't like it. You feel me? And I'm not changing the way that I speak on the YouTube videos for people in the comment section. I'm changing it for YouTube's policy and terms. You understand? That's why I talk slower when I word shit on YouTube than I did back in the day. Back in the day, I used to just talk frequently. The same way I still talk on the streets to this day. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you're not going to make it as far being unprofessional. So I word it the way I word it. You know what I'm saying? And just like YouTube don't like that shit, some people in the comments don't like that shit, people in the panhandle don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? You got the white boys that are from up there that don't really like white boys from down south because we hang out and get along with blacks. Then you got the black inmates up there, and then you got the black guards up there that chew dip and all that shit that, you know, they definitely don't like it because they done grew up against their own, and now they see, oh, here's white boys that get along with them, so we can't pick on our own that much, you know, but we'll pick on him because he isn't one of our own, but he's cool with them, but we still have the right to try to pick on him because he's an inmate and I'm a guard. But at the same time, we could still pick on him because he's white. You see, that's how they do it. That's literally how it is in the panhandle. For anybody who did time in the panhandle, y'all already know, man, them officers don't play. And what do the officers get called up there in the panhandle? Crackers. Them crackers don't play up the road in the Panhandle. You know, every camp you go to is different, whether it's down here or the Tip Top. But you know for a fact that when you're up there in that Panhandle, that shit ain't sliding as much as it is. Them guards run the camp more than the inmates do. Straight up. Once you come down south more, you'll realize that the inmates run the compound. So it makes it more dangerous on the inmates' take against inmates. There's more inmate on inmate stabbings and fightings and people getting beat up than up there in the Panhandle when it's more the guards hurting inmates. You know, guards slump inmates, flatline inmates, leave them in their cells and all that shit and get away with it on a day-to-day basis. It ain't like, oh, it happens every once in a while. It's totally different up there. Literally, your ass gonna learn, boy. You gonna be out there cutting that grass. You gonna be out there running all type of different critters and insects, shit you ain't even knew existed. You're gonna see some shit that's in the same state where you're from, and you're gonna feel like you're in a totally different state. I'm from Florida and was locked up in the Florida Panhandle, and I felt like I was in fucking Mississippi somewhere. I felt like I was out there in the sticks, like Wrong Turn. You feel me? I felt like I was out there, boy, looking at things that I never even knew existed. That was right there in my back door the whole time. You feel me? That's how it is. It's a totally different ball game. It's totally different. And then I never caught on to this at the time, but it always sticks with me. I remember when we was on a bus and I was driving from South Florida and I got to Orlando, right? There was a dude that was sitting in the same seat as me. He was originally from Orlando. So as we were riding up there, you know, we didn't talk or nothing like that, but I got my ears, you know, open and shit. So I heard him telling someone that he was originally from Orlando, you feel me? He caught a charge down south. He's happy to go back up there, boom, boom, boom. He only caught like a year and a half. He's going home in a couple months because he sat in the county for a while, blah, blah, blah. And I remember hearing him, you know, I'm looking out the window, looking at the fucking, you know, all this stuff we're driving by, you know, all these old trees and old fucking houses and antique cars and all this different stuff, and we're only near Orlando at this time. You feel me? It's parts of Orlando I never even seen. I've been to Orlando several times. You feel me? And I never even seen this type of Orlando, you know, but as we're riding, he's talking about that's where he's from. Soon as we got off the bus and they changed our shackles and they put us back on the bus and all that shit, that we were going to the next place, which was Lake Butler. That same dude was on the bus with me. He sat right next to me again, and the whole time he was like, fuck, damn, dog. He was complaining and shit, and then about going to the Panhandle. He like, man, they tried me, bro, because they didn't keep him in his region. So now he's complaining to someone that he's going to the Panhandle and all this different shit. And me, I'm like thinking like, shit, you know, I looked like I was more, you know, gutter about it than he was. In all reality, I don't know what the hell I'm getting myself into. I'm just being quiet about it. I'm like, shit. From my expression, it looked like the Panhandle don't faze me. Because it didn't. At the same time, I made it through that shit. You feel me? But in my mind, I was like, alright, he don't want to go where we going. You feel me? Fuck it. I don't care. I just want to get off this bus. You know what I'm saying? Bring me wherever. Put me in a fucking igloo. You know, it don't matter. Bring me to Alaska. Put me out there where there's ice. Put me in the fucking forest somewhere, the jungle. I don't care. My time's rolling right now. Boy, let's knock this shit out and head back to the house. That's how I was looking at it, you feel me? But at the time, I didn't really feel like the Panhandle was a problem. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with dude, you feel me? But I always remember why. Because I wouldn't want to go back to the Panhandle. And I don't blame him. From the way it was in the Panhandle, which was my first main camp when I was at Calhoun in Blountstown, Florida. You feel me? When I did my first bid of that, like in there, my first part of my bid, and then I did time in other camps, I would not want to go back to the Panhandle, y'all. That shit for the birds, boy. Not for the frogs. Straight up, boy. There's all types of weird shit going on out there. Gator grunting. They got goat day. They got goat festivals and shit. The guards be going to some festival called Goat Festival. Weirdo shit, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. They was brought up different than we was down here. But that's all I got for y'all, man, about the Panhandle. But if you've been locked up down here in the state of Florida and you've been in the Panhandle before, drop it in the comment section so people who don't really know about the Panhandle can read what you're saying, so that way they can have more of an understanding and relate if my words ain't helping them. You feel me? But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one on up. I appreciate y'all rocking with me and watching the video. Like I always say, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out if you didn't hit it when you first stopped in here. Stay tuned for the next video. And like I always say, man, keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wanna be honor boys, clowns, people that finance rims in 2022 out your circle. Until next time, this the one and only Frog.